TD Ryan Unleashed is brought to you by Scott Zyman, your State Farm insurance agent. Scott can help you save money bundling your home and auto insurance. Call 815-748-3101 or stop by at 2587 Sycamore Road, Suite D in DeKalb. Like a good neighbor, Scott Zyman and State Farm are there. Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more at 824 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. For delivery or pickup, call 815-758-8116 or go to pizzavilla.com. My Insurance Guys in Sycamore, family owned, local, reliable. My Insurance Guys cover Medicare to auto and everything in between. Call us in Sycamore at 815-899-0950. My Insurance Guy. Business, auto, home, life, and health at myinsuranceguy.com. And Elder Care Services of DeKalb County. Safe, secure, and supported. Helping you stay at home where you want to be. Call 815-758-6550 or stop in at 1701 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb or on the web at ecsdekalb.org. And welcome to TD Ryan Unleashed podcast number 14. I want to thank my nephew Ethan Davis for doing all the technical stuff to get us on the air, and thanks to our sponsors for allowing us to be on. I'm TD Ryan, and we have with us today, and we welcome a former member of the DeKalb Leadership Academy, my classmate, Noah Norbrook. You know, Noah, I didn't know your last name. I always knew you as Noah. But Noah Norbrook, am I saying that correctly, sir?
Pretty close. It's Nordbrock.
Nordbrock, okay. See, well, I always just know Noah or N squared, we used to call him back in the day. Actually, I just made that up, but I kind of like that. He comes in from stepping down from his position with YEP Group, and YEP is youth involved in philanthropy. We're going to learn some more about that. But tell us who you brought with us today, Noah.
So today I brought a couple of graduating seniors. So
they're so embarrassed.
Yeah, all YEP members. We have Nellie Duvall from Hiawatha High School. We have Ellie Ben from Indian Creek High School, and Mateo Graham from DeKalb High School.
That's wonderful. Now tell us. Let's start with you. First of all, what made you join the YEP Group, and tell us how it doesn't matter. You don't have to go to a certain high school, do you, to join?
Just have to be in like the DeKalb area more so, DeKalb County.
Okay.
I joined because I wanted to be more involved in something, and one of my teachers at the school knew about YEP, so that's how I joined.
Okay. And Noah, you and I were in the Leadership Academy, and when I joined, I never considered myself a leader. And I want to ask you with this question. Can somebody become a leader? Do you think? Are you born a leader, or can you become a leader? And if you can become a leader, how can you become a leader, and how has YEP helped you do that? How's that for a loaded question?
I definitely think that not everyone is born a leader.
Okay.
And it's kind of a skill you grow into. I used to be super shy, and leading was not my thing. And I kind of joined YEP to improve on that. And I have through it, but no, not everyone is born a leader. I mean, some people are naturally like leaders.
Okay.
And you see that when they're very young, but.
Now, you were nervous, you said, I can tell you were a little reluctant to do this today. Now, but you powered through it. So tell us about that. Why were you reluctant to come do a little podcast today?
It just doesn't seem like my strong suit.
Okay.
But especially speaking like without seeing people. I'm better at talking in front of people and not for people, but it's
That's
okay.
a great answer, yeah.
I was excited to do it because it's a new opportunity and something I've never done before.
All right, hand this gentleman the mic. Same question to you, my friend. Can you become a leader, or are you becoming a leader?
I'm
sorry, we were talking to Matto, right?
Mateo.
I'm going to mispronounce everybody's name. And earlier we heard from Ellie, and we also heard from Nellie. Ellie and Nellie, I can't forget that. All right, so tell us about it. Can you become a leader? Are you becoming a leader?
I definitely feel like I'm becoming a leader. I feel like when I first joined YEP that I was originally someone who just sat in the back, but then originally I was not supposed to be on YEP. Just one of my friends asked me 2 months after it was going hey, do you want to join this group? It's called YEP. And I said, I'm not sure, why not? And so I did, and I kind of liked it, and so I was a little hesitant, always really in the back, but then there were some days where I just want to talk.
Go ahead, please.
And so I did, and then I remember just, I don't know, there's been just a lot of points where I just feel like Noah's teaching me just how to talk in front of people and everything, just I don't know, just it helps a lot, and I feel like I am becoming a better leader.
Now, you guys have been in a large group before. My wife is a jewelry star, was at a jewelry convention, and the speaker, who was a painter, beautiful artist who's painting painters, had a guy stand up because I want you to do something here, but I'll give you a choice. You can do it, or you can give it to somebody else in the room. And he said that 95% of the people like you were too nervous, and I would have given it to somebody else. But one guy there didn't give it to somebody else, and he gave him this beautiful painting at the end, because he said most people, when they get a chance to step up, will say, nah, I'm kind of like you. I'd be shy and let somebody else do it. But if you step up, you get rewarded too, so that's great. Now, Noah, I want to mention the other people in the group here, because obviously the leaders. Tell us about Kyle White, the YEP manager.
Yeah, I've actually known Kyle for many years outside of the Community Foundation and YEP. He's a fantastic guy. When he applied for the position, I was very pleased that he applied. And when we hired him on, I think he's a great fit for Yet. He's going to step right into my shoes here, and he has his own unique, amazing way of doing things, which I'm really excited to see his leadership with the program this year.
Tell us about Mr. White. What's your encounter with Mr. White so far?
I've loved working with Kyle. He's been great, honestly. He did pull in and is always willing to ask questions, even from us, into the position that he's taking on. But he's been great, honestly.
And
I
does
love
he-
his humor and
I'm guessing he treats you guys with respect like you're adults
Yeah.
and you are.
very much.
Very good. And tell us about now Jason Good. How about Jason Good? You tell us about. Can you tell us about Mr. Good?
I've only had a few interactions with him at meetings and board events, but he's very nice and is always kind of willing to talk to Yet members and learn more and help whenever needed. So,
Okay, that's great. How about yourself? Tell us about Brenda Jurgens. If you can tell us, she's the YEP board advisor and the fundraising committee. Or do you know her? It's okay if you
I
don't.
don't think I've known.
No, tell us about Brenda.
interacted.
Yeah, I can tell you, or Ellie can tell you all about Brenda, because Ellie served as our fundraising chair, and Brenda was an advisor on it.
No, but she's shy. She doesn't want to do it. Go ahead. No, tell us about that, please. Because you guys raised the money. You gave over $23,000 this last year, and that's a wonderful thing.
yeah, so when another staff member left, Brenda stepped in for fundraising and then just Yep in general, but it's been great. She's amazing. She's helped me grow a lot too, just as a person, and it's always fun. She always makes meetings fun, and whenever we're with her, it's fun.
All right.
So she's great.
And we also want to mention Mohammed Labida. Am I saying that correctly?
Labadi.
Labadi. Of course, if I can mispronounce the name, I will. But tell us about Mohammed.
Mohammed's great too. So he came on, I think it's his second year now with the YEP program. And he's a little quiet in the back of the room. However, if you ask him questions, he is full of wisdom, and he loves to, during our executive team meetings, he always likes to add in a couple comments about just helping the students grow as people, but then also as leaders in the community. So while one might think he's kind of shy and quiet, he's just sitting there with a lot of wisdom to share.
So like this one over here.
Yeah,
All right, now we know. And then Emma Kiker, right? Now, is that Jeff Kiker's wife?
That is his daughter.
His daughter.
So she is actually an alumni of YEP. We brought her on as a community advisor. This was something Kyle already in his new position has decided to do. So he brought her on to sort of help with YEP. And she, of course, is very relatable instantly because she's young and she can relate well to the younger students. So it's fantastic to have that youth perspective on our leadership team.
That's
as well.
great. Yeah, I want to thank Jeff Kiker. He's one of the sponsors of this podcast. So let's I'm going to ask you guys some rapid questions here because this is frequently asked questions from the YEP group, and I'm going to frequently ask you that. So let's start with you, if you don't mind. I'm sorry to give with the pointing of the fingers. I always forget people's names. Tell us your name again.
Nellie?
Nellie? All right, here we go, Nell. What is a typical YEP meeting like, and where are they held?
We hold them at the DeKalb Community Foundation.
Okay.
Mostly, some take place at Hopkins Park or the Regal Center. Those are just special meetings we have that they take place there.
And what are they like, Nellie? What do you do in the meetings?
We typically have two groups, sometimes.
Well, not everybody can show up,
We
right?
have
Okay.
we have a traditional group where we talk about grants and how to build and how to distribute them. We also play games that help.
Give us an example of one of the games, can you?
We've done four corners and charades of how to, like, charades drawing what profit might look like or
Okay.
getting fundraising might look like.
I'm an old person. We played charades when I was young, and now you're still playing charades. That's great to hear that.
Yeah.
Good game.
All right, you get a plus for that. All right, now we're going to go to Emma, right? Do I have the name right?
Ellie.
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 All right, I knew it began with an E. So I was
Nellie
close.
and Ellie.
Ellie, I think I'd be able to remember that. All right, Ellie, what does YEP do? And not a big answer. Just give us roughly. What do you guys do?
Yep strives to improve the quality of life for youth in DeKalb County.
Now you
So
sound
it's
like you're reading off a list, but she's doing it
That's
in
like
ad
the
lib.
definition.
I like that.
Yeah.
Sorry again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So what is YEP again? Now,
Yep strives to improve the quality of life for youth in DeKalb County.
where are you reading that from? All right,
No, I just said it a million times.
So tell me what I hear you guys do volunteer events. We can talk about that. But what's a youth-led grant program? Why do you guys only have youth-led grant programs? What is it? That's you, Mohammed. What is a youth-led grant program, my friend?
It's Mateo, but it's all right.
Oh, that's
all right.
yeah. How's that sound?
What is a youth-led grant program?
Yeah.
Basically, just the youth lead to.
So if I want to
money.
apply for a grant with you guys, does it have to involve kids?
Yeah, it involves us. So it goes through a process of families, as we call them, which is really groups of people that get 3 grants that we review, and then we would go to a site visit and see what we're going to put our money towards and how it would influence people and help them.
Okay.
And especially children, because that's what we really focus on. And then we come back to that, and then we review it again and say, like, should we fully fund, partially fund, or no fund if we don't think it would like impact the community that well.
Okay.
And then we would say, all right, sure, partially. And then there's another meeting that we do that the whole youth YEP team goes over, and we say, like, as a group, like, we raise our hand, say
Yeah, I
yes,
saw that. So
no.
you're voting like in a
we
parliamentary.
vote,
Okay.
and then we just say if it's yes or no, and then we're like, okay, cool. And then the last meeting, it's us giving the checks to the organizations.
Yeah, and that's got to be great when you. I think I
Yeah.
saw a picture of you. What was that like? Were you there? That to give a check to somebody? What was that like when you were presenting that check?
I don't remember. I don't know if I wasn't really
Did you do
there.
what? No,
I had practice, so I was a little late to the.
All right, so I
last
probably
meeting.
have the wrong person anyway. All right, but it must be neat to be able to do that though.
Yeah, it was definitely. It's awesome to see people giving them the checks and everything.
Oh yeah, here's the two I have now. Here, who are these two people? No, the pictures that I got out there. But you guys go on site and you research this, right? You don't just
we
have
do.
somebody write you a letter. You go there to their place.
Yeah, we do.
Very neat. All right, we're going to talk some more about that. Now we're going to have the question number 3, which go back to you. What is a YEP volunteer event and why should members attend one?
So a YEP volunteer event, we do volunteer work in the community, and we try to reach all ends of the community, but some parts don't have an event more specifically that would be YEP. The YEP would be able to do.
Right, okay.
So sometimes it's more focused in the DeKalb Sycamore area, but YEP members sign up through texting a code on their phone and to sign up for the event and then go. And we volunteer, and each member hopefully they do at least one event during the year. And it's just another way to become a better leader and help your community.
Now, are you qualified? Are you required to do that, or it's up to you? Because it says here you should attend one event per year, ideally. Well, let's talk about the one that really sticks out to me, and that's Feed My Starving Children, the mobile pack day over there at the Sutter Company, and that's such an important thing. Did you do that? Now, tell us about that and
Yes.
why that's so important.
It's important because
You're doing great. She's making faces over here. You're doing great. What are you whispering to him over there? You're fine.
We get a big group. Typically, that's one of our biggest volunteer events that we do, and we pack.
So you have to cover your hair and the head and everything, right? Okay.
Hair. If they have beards, they would cover beards. We have guys go to, or girls if they want to, go to the storage and help fill up rice and soy, where they're doing packing. And it's really just a good time because they play music there at the Sutter Company.
Okay.
And they make sometimes like little games, like in this amount of time, can we fill up this many packages? So it's really just a fun event to do, and also like a feel good because you're helping other people no matter what you're doing.
And helping kids, which is,
Yes.
you guys are all about that. And you know,
Yes,
it's such an alarming, I'm sure you guys were shocked to hear that, thousands of kids die a day from
Yes.
starvation. And so for you guys to do what you're doing is a wonderful thing. And it's important what you're packing, right? It's not like
Yeah.
candy bars. And
No, it's food for the kids.
it's nutritional
to eat,
food
yes.
that'll keep them fed and well.
Yes.
And that's great. So let me ask you, since you hate talking so much, you also did the Royal Children's Ball or the mobile food pantries. You do any one of those? Tell us about that.
I did the Royal Children's Ball at NIU, and that was a cool experience. We made balloon animals for the children there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been great.
Yeah, it was good.
Now, why are you guys
know
laughing?
we were there.
The balloons didn't turn out, or why are you guys laughing?
Well, I couldn't make them, but other people knew how to. It was a little rough for some of us, but the children didn't know we were there at first, so it was a little slow. But at the end of the night, everyone was coming and making balloons and picking them up, so it was a fun experience.
I bet. I think it's the Goodfellas have an expression, a man never stands so tall as when he stoops to help a child. And what was it like to see those kids' faces? I mean, that must really be magic for you guys to see that up close like that. When you talk about talking to people one-on-one, when you see the kids' faces, what was that like for you?
It was pretty cool. I was helping with an obstacle
Oh, yeah,
course
you weren't
during
making the
time
balloons. Right.
because I could not make them. I was very awful at it. But it seemed like they were happy and just excited to. Some of them tried making one too, so that was cool.
How about when they got on your obstacle course? Did that bring you with pride that they had fun with it and enjoyed it?
The ones that completed it were happy.
Okay.
Other ones wanted to try again. I mean, it was just kind of up in the air, but it was fun.
Okay.
Just a fun event.
Tell us about you now. What did you do any of these? Tell us which one
Yeah,
you've done.
I did the what was it? I forgot what it's called.
The mobile food pantry or the
other one, the first one. Where it was
Feed My Starving Children.
Um,
No, or the Royal Ball.
the Royal Ball. That's what, I forgot what it is.
That's
but
okay.
I did the balloon making and.
Oh, you went the balloon maker.
Yes,
Okay.
I did. I made I called it like a dachshund. It was like a wiener dog because the body was so long. I made
Okay.
it by accident. But and then I made a couple of swords, and then there was like a flower that I made as well. But some of the kids, their faces were really funny because
There you go.
some of them just like, what the heck is this? Like, what did you make? I like.
Well, I bet it was
"It's a
even
dog."
funnier. Even funnier that yours didn't turn out. That's even better.
Exactly. Yeah, and I just said it's a wiener dog.
It's supposed to be a wiener dog. Oh, that's great. That's one of you guys do that stuff. All right, here's the next question. I live outside of DeKalb County. Let's go back to you. I live outside of DeKalb County, but attend a high school in DeKalb County. Can I join that? Yeah.
Yes, I live outside of DeKalb.
Okay.
And I joined YEP. I live in Kirkland, so
Okay.
it's a little bit away.
So how'd you find out about YEP in Kirkland?
So my teacher actually lived in DeKalb. She knew about it, so I wanted to do something worth volunteering for with my free time, and she told me about YEP, and that's how I really got involved with it.
And what's it been like getting to know these other students from these other high schools? That's got to be cool.
It's honestly been really great because my school's so small that everyone knows each other.
Uh-huh. Do you like that aspect? I went to a school in Chicago with 1,200 kids in my class, and I wish to gosh I went to a small class like you.
No.
No, you say no. Okay. Well, but it's good. Obviously, pros and cons. of
Yeah, there's
every-
pros and cons of it.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed getting to know and make friends at other schools. It was really great.
That's neat that you do. All right, now I have a similar question for you. I live in DeKalb County, but I attend a high school outside of DeKalb County. Can I join YEP? She's
Yes.
checking with Noah for
Yeah,
sure.
you can join YEP even if you don't live in the county. I don't have any personal experience with that, but yes, you can still join and come and see what it's about. And hopefully have a good experience.
Does your group consist of like more from Sycamore to DeKalb high schools, or are they all pretty evenly represented?
They're all pretty evenly represented, but kind of based on school population too. Obviously, DeKalb and Sycamore have a lot more kids in their school
Right.
compared to Hiawatha or Indian Creek. We have a couple schools kind of underrepresented, but it's also hard recruiting people from every school, and
Right.
the drive's longer for some of us who
I was gonna
don't
say they
live
had to
in
get to
DeKalb
the
and
meetings,
Sycamore.
right? Yeah.
So it's challenging no matter where you live, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, my wife's had 10 kids in her family, and they lived out in Sugar Grove, but they wanted to participate in post events after school, but they had no ride to and from, so they weren't able to do that. So that's great you guys are able to do that. Em, how about yourself now? You're going to get this one now. I'm a homeschooler. Can I join YEP?
Yes, you can definitely join. Yeah, there's actually someone on the board or on the what is it
Leadership team.
leadership team. His name's Jordan. He was homeschooled and he joined. Yeah, I think this was his second year here,
Okay,
and it was really good to see him. He grew a lot as a leader and a person. So
that's great. So how often do you guys meet? Do you guys meet when you're in session? I guess this is your off time now here in the summertime, right?
yeah, it's in our off time right now. We usually meet once a week. I mean, once a month, and occasionally if you're like on the YEP 2.0, which is like one of the subcommittees, you might meet like an additional meeting or something like that.
You stole my thunder, Em, because that's my tiebreaker question. How do I join YEP 2.2 Pro Committee or the fundraising committee?
You just got to join YEP, and then you can sign up. You have to be a third or fourth member.
A
Fourth
junior
year.
or a senior?
Junior or
At
senior.
least 2 years
Yeah,
experience.
at least
Okay.
2 years, and then you can just say, "Can I be on the?"
Are you heading for that path? You'll be.
No, well, I was a senior. I'm a senior, so
Okay.
this was my last year. But I was the co-chair of YEP 2.0.
Okay. How about you guys now? Where are you at in the program?
I am also a senior, so I already graduated. I stayed with the traditional committee
Okay.
because we had a few of our other leadership people that it was their first year doing it, so I stood back and helped them while
Good for you.
everyone else did the other committees.
How about you? Are you still in? Are you a senior as well?
yeah, I just graduated.
Well,
as well.
congratulations on you. My God.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why didn't you bring me flowers? I should have brought you guys flowers. Wait a minute.
I was junior year, I was the chair of fundraising committee because I was the fundraising chair on the leadership team. And that was a cool experience. That's where I kind of got to work with Brenda too. And then this year I continued with fundraising chair, but also staying back some meetings to kind of watch over the traditional committee as well. So I just stepped in when they needed help.
And how was it? How was it fundraising? Because I'll tell you a story. We had to do radio sales when I first got a job in radio, and I sold an ad to a lady, and it was $5 an ad, and she bought 3 ads, and it was a used clothing store, Rags to Riches, so I wanted to use the Tony Bennett song, Rags to Riches. So long story short, I bought a pair of jeans from her because I was so grateful she bought an ad for me, and I lost $2 on the sale on the thing. What is it like asking people for money? Is it hard to do that? And, they talk about closing, you can be like, I might do that, but then you get them to commit. How is that a difficult thing to do?
So our main fundraiser is Give to DeKalb County, and we send out thank yous for donating and then asking if people would like to contribute again this year. So that's our main thing.
Start with a thank you. I like that.
Yeah, we start with a thank you always because we are grateful for last year's donations as well, always. But it's good. We don't do many other fundraisers besides Give to DeKalb County. It's just there's just not a lot of time to do it.
Right.
With our once a month meetings, it makes it kind of difficult.
But you got over $2 million, didn't they, this year? Again,
Overall, give the cup county.
overall $2 million.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's
Great.
right. All right, 40 developmental assets. Adam, tell us what is that exactly, my friend?
Just basically things that people see in the community and issues that we think should be represented or we should focus on during our YEP session.
Have you taken these to heart? Because I want to make a list for my grandkids. I think this is great. I should be living these as well. Let's just take a couple, because then I want to find out where the money went, who got the money. But from support, I see here, parent involvement in schooling. Parents are actively involved in helping young persons succeed in school. Why is that so important, do you think?
I think everyone...
Have you gotten a lot of support from your parents?
Yes, definitely. I think always a strong support system is always needed for anybody, really.
Yeah.
It gives them a guidance and counseling, I guess, for whatever issues they face.
Because we can't expect schools to discipline our children, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
kids have to know that going in, right?
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And we see that case where they expect the teacher is going to discipline my child, and when you got 25 or 30 kids, it's kind of a difficult thing to do, huh?
Yeah, certainly.
All right, very good. All right, let's go over to you here, and you tell me now, this is under empowerment, safety. Young persons feel safe at home, school, and the neighborhood, and especially in this day and age. Why is that so important, that we feel safe?
When you don't feel safe and you're kind of hesitant, looking around, being overly aware of your surroundings, it's just not a good environment. I know whenever I feel unsafe, it's like, ooh, gotta watch out wherever I'm at. So for children to feel safe, it kind of just puts them at ease and able to focus on other things besides their personal safety.
Oh, very good answer there. I like that. Now, under boundaries and expectations, it says positive peer influence. Now, I was a bit of the term hellion, if you don't mind me saying that. In high school, I got kicked out of high school at one point. My mother always accused me of hanging out with the wrong people, and of course, the more she told me that, the more I wanted to hang out with the wrong people. But why is that important to have a good peer group and hang out with the right people?
The saying that kind of like you are who you hang out with is
Okay.
true. I've seen that some people start hanging out with the wrong group and things go south for them.
So you can literally see it happen.
Yeah, so that's just always important to remember that who you surround yourself with, you're going to become like them in some ways. So it's always important.
I still think she must have cheat sheets or something written down. Her answers are so great. All right, boundaries and expectation. Let me ask you about this one about, constructive use of time. And you guys include religious community. Young persons spend 1 or more hour per week in activities in a religious institution. Tell us about that. And what did you do? What are your thoughts about that? That's okay. That's
Wait,
right.
can you repeat it?
Oh, wait, this is under constructive use of time, and it says religious community. Young persons spend 1 or more hour per week in activities in a religious institution.
Well, religious could mean anything to
Sure,
anyone.
it doesn't have to be a
It
formal
doesn't have
church.
to be a church or
Right.
anything like that. But we think of it as more so like they do what's in their beliefs and they
You guys ever hear the
practice
term idle hands of the devil's workshop?
Mhm.
So you guys address that here too. I like this one time at home. Young persons out with friends with nothing special to do, quote unquote, 2 or fewer nights per week. So tell us about that. If you go out and just hang out with nothing to do, that might lead to trouble, huh?
Yes. may.
There's no, that it may. All right. Have me take this one. Commitment to learning, reading for pleasure. Now, I was so impressed. My 6 grandkids all read the Harry Potter series and didn't have to. How about you? Did you know how to read? And why is it important to read other than what you're being assigned to read?
So,
Oh.
yeah, I feel like there's definitely some points. And I think sophomore year, we had to do a project about like you read a book and then you do like a review of it and something. I'm like, okay, well that's like the only time I'm gonna read. But then there was some time when I think a couple months ago where I picked up a book that I really liked and I was like, okay, this looks really nice. It's like it reads good. And so I don't know. I feel like it made me like more aware of my words and something, I guess. It just made me feel like my brain was moving instead of just like looking at the phone and just doing.
Can we ask what the book was that you wanted?
It's based off it's a book called Darkly Dreaming Dexter. It's
Okay.
like on the book that the Dexter TV show
Oh
was
yeah,
based on.
yes,
So,
sir.
yeah.
We'll leave that one alone. I know
Yes,
that.
yeah, but it was a good book.
But that's just good. As long as you're interested in it.
Yeah,
You're
it
reading, right?
got me entertained. I was reading it like every day for like a week.
All right. All right. Let's go back to you. You answered that question because why? Now, were you a big Harry Potter fan, or why did you want to answer that one?
I am a big Harry Potter fan, as well as I just love reading. It's a great way to spend my time, and it could be educational no matter what you read.
Well, I was going to say, do you think they could work the Harry Potter into to make it in the curriculum somehow?
Yeah.
Because they cover a lot of subjects.
Yeah.
Sometimes good, bad. I mean, a lot of the.
I mean, a lot. I know one of the teachers I have at my school did the Hunger Games series, and it helped get the kids to notice like good and bad versus what may be good, what may be bad.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty heavy concept, the Hunger Games, isn't it? I mean, when you look to the future, that's pretty scary stuff. And then this one more, under social components, it says peaceful conflict of resolutions. And unfortunately, we hear a lot of cases of young people just recently now shooting each other or stabbing each other. And why is that so important that we resolve conflict peaceably?
I think peaceful conflict, resolving it peacefully would end many things, because if you do it peacefully, it's more so likely not going to happen as people see the outcome of it if it doesn't end peacefully.
Yeah. It just that moment.
It would just get worse if it wasn't.
Right. All right. Very good. All right, we're going to touch some more of those, but let's find out who got the money. Let's start with you if we could. I'm just going to go through you guys. Just give me a brief answer if you could. You guys gave over $23,753 to youth-serving projects. AdventureWorks was the first one, so $1,850 to buy tools and fencing for a bird and butterfly sanctuary. Why was that important? Do you know what? You don't have to know exactly. She's looking for a cheat sheet. But why is it important to have a bird and butterfly sanctuary?
So that was one of my
Oh, that was
grants.
okay.
Yeah, that was. And we felt it was important for the children to have that because it's kind of just peaceful. And once again, a place hopefully they can feel safe in and kind of just distract themselves with the butterflies and birds from their environment, kind of just detach and relax while they're looking at them. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's a lot of symbolism there too, because of the she took a heavy breath there. We have the cocoon, right, and then they become the butterfly. So oftentimes we see that with kids in school, right? They start out kind of in the cocoon, and then like in his senior year, he's blossoming like a butterfly, right? So it's very symbolic as well. All right, let me take this one then. Children's Community Theater, $1,800 for new wireless microphones. I've seen several productions from the Children's Community Theater, and what a great group. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I went to that site visit.
Oh, you
and
did? Okay.
Yeah, it was nice. They showed us around the building and everything, and they said it's for an event that they host out in the field near the NIU engineering building, or I forgot what it's called, but it's somewhere near NIU.
Okay.
And so it's for it's like a Spanish-speaking event where all these Spanish speakers come and they have like games to do for kids and like all these stations for them. There's like soccer games and everything like that. So the microphones are used so they can actually project their voices over like the field
Yeah.
and say like, oh, this is happening in like 20 minutes. This thing is closing down in 5 minutes.
That's
Something
great.
like that. So we decided, I think it was a partial fund, I believe. I might be wrong about that right now.
Yeah, that probably wasn't the whole thing. Yeah, that's great. Every
Yeah,
little bit
partial
helps
fund.
out. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And how's your Spanish? Give us a little Spanish there, huh? How you doing?
It's not the best, but I don't know. I took like 3 years of Spanish.
I did too. I failed it every year. Tell girls that we speak another language, and why is that important? Come on, now that's a yes or no. You don't have to make the face.
I understand it more than I speak it.
Yeah, okay, well, that's
I
good.
come from a Spanish-speaking family, so.
Oh, all right, okay. How about you?
I took 4 years of Spanish in high school, but yeah, I'm not bilingual. I took the test to be bilingual, but I got close.
Okay. Are you able to
We're working on
practice
it.
on a daily? You have people that you can talk to in Spanish and help you?
I do, but then people look at me like I'm crazy. So
All right. Well, that's great that you're trying. That's better. The effort is. All right, now the Cal Health Department, let's go back to you. The Cal Health Department, $2,143 to support teen parents with baby care kits, essential supplies, and local resources. You can imagine how scary it would be to be a teenage mom, pregnant, and not having any help. So
Yes,
tell us about that. Not you in particular.
yeah.
No, but I'm saying, just imagine what that would
Yes. Some teens do, you could see it all over, get kicked out for ending up pregnant or anything like that. So having that support system for those that aren't able to have the strongest family support system is always a good initiative to have there.
be like. And what was it like when you guys were voting on this? I mean, it's such a heavy subject.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was very controversial for some people,
Uh-huh.
but overall, I think it overruled because so many of the other members were pinpointing, and we discussed it heavily before we actually made a full decision on it. So.
And you guys are a democracy, and you
Yeah.
do the vote, and if the vote carries, then you're going to support. That's great. That's a great way to do that. Also now, the Cal School District 2200 to expand bilingual library. We're just talking about that collection for second and third grades. Why is that important?
I actually had that one in my group.
Oh, very good.
We thought that was good to have because some kids, their first language is Spanish, so to help them transfer over to English or become bilingual, we decided.
And that age is very important, isn't it? Because that's when they're absorbing all that, right?
For sure. The kids, to have those resources makes it easier for them to connect with other kids or connect with their teachers and everything like that in their school district.
Very good. I know that. I can tell that was yours. A good answer. I appreciate that. All right, how about you? Now, we'll take this one here, the Cal Library collection for, we just did one. Family Service Agency Support Specific Needs for the Little Campers Summer Program. That's a great idea, because I went to summer camp, and I'm so glad I was able to go. Now, why are you rolling your eyes? What's wrong with the summer camp program?
I don't necessarily remember this one.
All right, well, it doesn't matter. Well, you know about summer camp. Why do you think summer camp's important to young people?
So I never went to a summer camp.
Oh, you never did?
No, but some of my friends have, and they just have memories from it. And I think it's important to build those memories with your friends, find new friends. It's all about becoming a better person and just better for in your community and everything. So
all right, you handled that one, even though that wasn't yours. So, you know this one here, because let's go back to the $5,000. Which would I have here now? Little campers. Oh, yeah, the $5,000 for the YEP 2.0 proactive grant to support FASA's ongoing program and efforts to address youth mental health and increase youth engagement in the community. And now, mental health is something when I grew up, we never even talked about. I mean, we never considered a child's mental health. Why is it so important? And what are your thoughts about that?
Well, there's definitely a lot of people like nowadays that everyone's very aware of it, and they all have these things for it, like taking care, counseling, everything like that. It's
because you guys have more stress than tell me. But when I was a kid, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have any kind of problems like that. We just played outside. You guys got all kinds of social media problems, pressure as well, don't you?
Yeah, we do. There's definitely a lot of social media pressure, I guess, just like with the way you look and everything like that, what you should do, how you should act always in front of people. It's just a lot of pressure, but...
Are you wearing the sandals and the socks and sandals? I did the high school basketball games, and I noticed all the players, when they came out of the locker room, have the socks on with the sandals. Now, when I was a kid, that was a nerd. And now all of a sudden it's cool. So, wait, do you go with the socks and the sandals?
I definitely don't. That's more of something my dad does, actually.
All right.
My mom always yells at him for that. Like, that looks so bad. Why are you wearing that?
We old people, we don't care what we look like as long as we're comfortable.
Yeah.
How about you? You were nodding your head over there with the socks and the sandals. Why are you laughing about that?
Because I was a basketball player, and that's how I just ended up
Are you?
after my games. Even softball or volleyball, I ended up just in sandals. They were more comfortable to wear than my gym shoes at the time.
Tell us about your team. Now, what team were you on?
I was on volleyball, basketball, and softball for Hiawatha.
Okay. And how did the sports help you?
It really got me out of my head and into a different realm. During difficult times, like I had a lot of family passings, so it was just a great way for me to get out and get my head and mind off of things.
Okay. Yeah, I was just watching, I think I was saying The Last Dance with Michael Jordan about the Bulls in the 90s, and he talked about he lost his father and being on the court, and for that moment, those thoughts went away just for while he was focused on the game. So
yeah.
That's really, you're in good company with that. That's great. Now, do you know what, Kingston, let's take this one here, if you would. And it doesn't matter if it's not yours, but $693 to expand media gear for student communication. Now, being a former radio person myself, I love the idea that you're supporting the media. Why is that important to have the media gear?
So this was a grant we gave last year to them for the same exact things. And their program ended up being so successful, which is awesome, that they needed more equipment. So it's kind of a, not necessarily a special request, but a little bit. It took a little convincing to our members. This was actually one of mine, by the way.
Okay, oh, good.
So if we were going to fund it or not, we wanted to, but we knew at the April meeting we'd have to do a little convincing, which we did, but it ended up passing, so hopefully they can be just as successful as they were this year.
I love it. Now, give an old personal insight to the social media use, because, I started doing this, I was on the radio for 25 years, so I didn't know anything about podcasting. My nephew's doing all the technical stuff, but when you guys, do you listen to the radio? Do you listen to podcasts? What do you listen to when you just want to listen to stuff? Do you do the podcast? It's all right if you don't. You better listen to this one. You're on it. But other than that,
so during work, I listen to a lot of music, and I listen to just music all day. So
Now, do you
today
pick
I
your own
decided to
music,
do a
or
podcast.
do you like the spot in the 80 when the new song comes on? Because back in the day, radio, you never knew what song was going to come along. And you called it the aha song. When you hear a song, you remember when you were younger. Oh, I love that song. But do you pick out everything ahead of time?
Yeah, I just have playlists going.
Okay, the playlist.
But yeah, it got kind of boring. So today I decided actually to listen to a podcast, and
Oh, cool.
I hadn't really before, and I kind of got into it. So it's
Neat.
fun. I'll listen to this one too, obviously.
Oh, well, thank you for that. How about yourself? Do you listen to the radio or the podcast?
At my work, I listen to the radio. It's just something we always have playing.
Okay.
And then I do listen to podcasts and audiobooks on my own time just because sometimes the music nowadays just isn't the greatest.
All
to
right.
me, in my
To
opinion.
your okay. Now tell me what podcast you listen to. I could ask you.
There's a few.
Like, is it a person or a group, or what is it that you listen to?
Sometimes it's a group. Sometimes it just really depends on my mood. I like to shuffle through a few of them and see what I like. My brother listens to one that I go with him, and I don't remember what the guy's name is.
Okay, all right, that's great. All right, let's do a couple more here. Girls on the Run, $400 to buy updated couching curriculum. Now, I interviewed them on the radio. Who knows about Girls on the Run? Do you guys? You know about that?
I do.
Because they're more than just getting together after school and
Yeah.
running, right? They tell us about that.
Yeah, one of my teachers was the coach for the Girls on the Run at my school.
Oh, okay.
So I've actually just helped and gone to some of their practices.
Tell the folks what that is, the Girls on the Run. Because again, it's not just
So-
getting together and running, right?
No, it's more of like learning for a girl to learn their self-confidence and just keeping it and their self-worth and everything like that. They have little flip books that they complete for the year, every year, and then they get shirts. It's just really like a girl talk moment. Like girls come in and
Girl power.
yes, they all just come in and talk about whatever they want to at that point, or like issues they're having, and it's really just like a support group for younger girls.
That's great. And then a little running in the process.
Yeah, and they're running and talking with each other. It's a great way for some of the girls to make friends if they're super shy too.
That's great. All right, Dan, we got two left here. This one I like, Northern Public Radio, WNIU and WNIJ, $2,000 to purchase tents and speaker for family events. That's kind of what you were talking about. But tell us about public radio. I know you don't listen to it.
Yeah.
But why is public radio important, do you think?
I don't know. When I was younger, I always listened to the radio with my mom or my dad, whoever was driving me, and I was
Good for them.
always just thought it was entertaining just to hear what's going on in the city around me, just anything like that, just funny scenarios that just happens.
So it's nice to be informed, right? And I know guys say, I don't know anything's going on. I don't watch the news, and they're like proud of it. But there's no reason to be like that, right?
Yeah, I'm one of those people that always watches the news in the morning. That's how I start my morning. I wake up at 5:30, and first thing I do is turn on the news and see what's happening. in
Good
the
for
world.
you. That's awesome, man.
Thank you.
All right, and the last one, I want this as a group here. St. Mary's School, $1,000 to buy a 3D printer and a filament for STEM curriculum for grades 5 through 8. Now, I had my mind blown when I was over here at the library and asked the lady about the 3D printer, and she said you could make a 3D printer with a 3D printer, and then my head just went boom.
Yes.
But tell us about that. Why is this important, the 3D printer at St. Mary's School? That's kind of neat. You went to the Catholic school to help out.
Yeah, I actually went there, which is...
Oh, so that was yours, okay.
Yeah, well, like I actually went to the school too. Well,
Oh,
I
you
didn't,
did? Okay.
didn't go there, but I didn't go there for the site visit. I went there for school. That's what I was
Okay.
trying to say. But I guess it's cool. I guess 3D printers always really fascinated me. Like you can create literally anything that you want.
That's the part I can't handle.
Yeah.
Make a 3D printer with a 3D printer. What?
Yeah, it's always really cool. I want to get one, but they're a little too expensive. So that's, I guess, why they asked for the grant. So
All right, very good. And you guys gave them that. That's great that you guys do that. So, again, to wrap things up, I want one of you two, Emma, I'm going to put you on the spot. Because, no, I know you guys have to be careful with legalese and things. Just know if you got enough light, read this paragraph here, if you would, because this is their, I was going to have Em do it, but I know
Sure.
it's the non-discriminatory policy grant making. But we looked that over first. And Noah, tell us what that is, how important that is, because people that are applying for grants, they have to fit a certain criteria, right? So I just want you to read that because it's so ridiculous, the legalese, because people know how when lawyers write something. Just give us the first couple lines there, just to give the people an idea what I'm talking about.
All right. No person in the United States shall, on the basis of actual or perceived race, creed, color, ethnicity, national origin, religion, sex, and gender identity, sexual orientation, gender expression, age, physical or mental ability, pregnancy, veteran status, military obligations, marital or parental status, political affiliation, or any other improper criterion be included from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any program or activity funded in whole or in part with funds Made by
It's all one sentence, by the way.
made available by the Community Foundation and any other program or activity funded in whole or in part with funds apportioned.
You nailed it anyway. But I just wanted to, it's just so amazing when you did all those different categories.
That's
but
a
Noah,
lot.
why is that so important? That we have to cover every ground, don't we?
Well, yeah, it's all about equal opportunity. I mean, too bad we have to write it all out.
I know,
Every
because
single piece.
even
We
Evan
can't
was
just say
laughing as he's going through the
equal
list.
opportunity for all. So basically, we don't discriminate, period. So
Okay.
anyone that wants to apply for a grant that's eligible, now we do have eligibility criteria that they have to meet, but if they qualify, then there's no reason ever to discriminate. We should be open and review each one with the same eyes that we would for anything.
That's
So,
great.
yeah.
All right, very good. Well, let's wrap things up. My favorite question I'm going to ask you, and now you guys have all graduated, but I always like to ask what you plan on doing. Are you going off to school, or what do you plan on doing now?
Yes, I plan on going to Illinois State University and
Okay.
studying criminal justice and law.
Oh, cool. Now, why ISU? What made you pick that school? Because, you hear a lot of kids going out of state to Iowa and Michigan and places. Why are you staying in state? I think it's great you are.
Yeah, I think it's a good ways away from home, but not far enough where I couldn't come back in case there was something that happened.
Right, okay. Now, what criminal law? Why do you want to study that?
I want to be a lawyer in the future, so I would go to Illinois State and then come back to NIU to do law. So I wanted to do it just to be an advocate for some people that don't know how to advocate for themselves. I knew I used to be like that, so
Good for you. Now, you ever heard the old Indian lore that if you dip your toe in the Kishwaukee River, you always come back? Now, you said you want to come back here. Do you want to come back here and practice? Going to hang up your shingle
no,
here?
I'm not gonna. I don't plan on practicing here. I just plan on coming back for law school.
Okay.
here.
All right. Do you have somewhere you want to go? So 10 years from now, what are you doing? You have your own law firm, and where is it at?
Probably closer to the city or something like that. But
Okay. And who clientele, like you said, you want to work with people that are
I want to do
underrepresented?
like a family type law or even educational type.
Okay. Great for you. How about yourself? What are your plans for the future?
In the fall, I'm going to Winthrop University. It's in South Carolina, and I'm studying chemistry.
Oh, really? Okay. Sounds like a beautiful campus. Tell us about Winthrop University.
Yeah, it's gorgeous there. When I was visiting, I saw a very, very pretty sunset, and it's a beautiful campus. I love the people there. Everyone's so nice and welcoming, and I'm very excited about it.
Is it a smaller school? Like how big a school is it?
It's a smaller school, around 5,000 students. So
And you're the Winthrop what? The Winthrop
Eagles.
Eagles. All right, very good. Now, chemistry is such a broad category. What exactly will you be doing with chemistry?
So with my degree, I'm on chemistry right now, but it might change to biology, and I thought about double majoring and adding psychology.
Oh, sure, why not?
I plan on going to physician assistant school after. So,
Okay, so 10 years from now, what are you doing? Where are you at?
I'm a PA, not in Illinois because it's way too cold here. With money and a beach house.
Okay, I think you might fall in love with it. Is it South Carolina? You might fall in
Yeah,
love down
South
there.
Carolina. Yep.
I can see that. And then you'll develop the y'all. You start saying y'all all the time. All right, we'll get
Yep,
ready
my
for that.
sister has, so. Yep.
All right, Em, how about yourself? What are your plans for the future?
I will be attending Augustana College.
Oh, very
Over in
good.
Rock Island,
That's a
yeah.
great school. Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
And what are you going to be doing there?
We'll be majoring in, applied math and computer science with a focus on actuarial science.
I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
So tell us, especially that last part. What does that mean? An actual?
So actuarial, it's basically like accounting on steroids. It's a good way to put it.
That's a good way to put it.
But it's like you take the risks, like the probability of risks and everything, and you like create. What's it called? I'm forgetting what it's called, but you work for an insurance company and see
Right.
how much
The statistics, yeah.
Yeah.
I recently just interviewed the coroner of DeKalb County. He was the coroner for 40 years. But every year he makes a chart. Like in 2022, 893 people died in DeKalb County, which is 100,000 population. And he has it all broken down on how they died. And it's amazing, those statistics. I mean, if you want to study statistics, it is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
As morbid as this was with how people died. But I mean, so in a perfect 10 years from now, what's Em doing?
I don't know. I kind of so my main goal is to work for an insurance company, obviously. But if that doesn't work out, I want to work for a Formula One team. just doing probability and stuff like that.
Get out of town. So what do you? So what would you do? So you got a race car, and then what do you do?
Basically, I'd be like a strategist. Like I guess I'll read all the data and see what I would have, like what could make the car go faster, which if they can take this corner faster, if they should go in slower or something like that.
So you're gonna be one of the 3 people that see the new Brad Pitt movie, right? Because I saw the promos for that. No desire to see that. Well, that's great. And Noah, tell us about brag on these guys, because I know they won't brag on themselves. Brag on these guys a little bit, will you, before you go?
Yeah, well, the great thing is being the YEP advisor for so many years, I was able to see each one of them come up through the YEP program completely, which is sort of why I hand selected them today, just because I know each one of them really, really well.
Except she doesn't like to talk.
Yeah, so I mean, each came in, if not as a freshman, then as a sophomore, and they were in YEP at least 3 to 4 years. But the cool thing is that they've all just grown in leadership. Mateo wasn't on the executive team, but we did ask him a few times, and it just wasn't right for his schedule at the time. But we found other opportunities for him to jump in and be a leader within those. And he jumped at every single one of them. He delivered like exceptionally. Had him up in front talking quite a few times, giving reports and stuff too. So I don't know. There's so many great things to say about all 3 of them.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, say some great stuff about Noah, even if you don't want to. No, I'm kidding. You do it. You. What's it been like working with Noah?
So Noah's really helped me grow, kind of just be more comfortable in YEP in general, and then kind of convince me that I'd be good at something, even when I don't think I'd be good at it. But it's been cool to get the leadership experience that he kind of built YEP. So more so from YEP, but knowing that like he was behind it building, and he's always pushing everyone to do better and do what he knows they'd be good at.
That's great. Oh, great answer. That's a very good answer. I appreciate it. And then to wrap things up, you ever heard the elevator speech? Talk about an elevator speech. Why would you tell another kid? So you're talking to a group of high school students right now. What would you tell them to join YEP? Why join YEP? What would be their big selling point for you?
I actually did that.
Oh, you did? Wait, do I know how to ask questions or what? So tell us, what did you say?
I told them it was a great way for them to get out. It was a good look on college applications. It was just a way to make friends if they didn't really, in my community, have that group with them. Because in my school, they had cliques. So if you weren't a part of that, you weren't. So
yeah. And it's hard to get out of one. Once you're in a clique, it's really hard to get out of that, isn't it?
But I told them it was a great way to get out into the community, meet new people. Like, you never know who you're going to meet until you ask a question or...
Yeah, the fact that you guys work with other high schools, that's so neat in the area, so you'll probably will see them down the line.
Yeah, so I've played against Ellie here.
Oh, is that right?
A few of my sports.
She's nodding, yeah.
So
that's great.
It's been great. We would talk during volleyball on the court before a play happens. So.
Hey, let me give you the final word. I'm 65 years old, and I look at the world now. I tell you guys, I'm scared with the social media and everything going on. What are your thoughts about the world? Are we okay? Is everything going to be all right? Are you guys going to change the world for the better? What do you think? I know it's a real broad question, but what is when you look to the future? Are you very optimistic? You get scared about stuff? I
get a little scared about some things, like the way technology is approaching, and it's taking over so many jobs and everything like that. But
yet here you guys work with people one-on-one in this with the YEP group. That's great. Well, keep that going. And I want to thank you three so much for. I wish I had something to give you guys, but I don't. And no, I want to thank you for making this happen. Like I said, you and I was in Leadership Academy in 2010, and we found out that you can become a leader, and you obviously have done that. I mean, you're living that. So we thank you, and I know you guys want to thank Noah for all the great work that he's done, and we appreciate. I want to thank our sponsors for allowing us to be here today. We appreciate that, and that's podcast number 14, TD Ryan Unleashed with the YEP Group. TD Ryan Unleashed is brought to you by Scott Zyman, your State Farm insurance agent. Scott can help you save money bundling your home and auto insurance. Call 815-748-3101 or stop by at 2587 Sycamore Road, Suite D in DeKalb. Like a good neighbor, Scott Zyman and State Farm are there. Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more at 824 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. For delivery or pickup, call 815-758-8116 or go to pizzavilla.com. My Insurance Guys in Sycamore, family owned, local, reliable. My Insurance Guys cover Medicare to auto and everything in between. Call us in Sycamore at 815-899-0950. My Insurance Guy. Business, auto, home, life, and health at myinsuranceguy.com. And Elder Care Services of DeKalb County. Safe, secure, and supported. Helping you stay at home where you want to be. Call 815-758-6550 or stop in at 1701 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb or on the web at ecsdecalb.org.